Hey guys, it's Matt. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite Batman villains. He's intriguing because his intentions are noble, but his methods leave a little something to be desired. He's the cold-hearted villain Mr. Freeze. This is the premium format by Sideshow Collectibles. Let's get into it. Okay, as with all premium formats, this Mr. Freeze comes with this absolutely gorgeous art box. It's a big box, one of the larger ones out there, but it really has some awesome artwork on the front here. We've got a photo of the statue that's been posterized in an artwork style, including the Mr. Freeze font treatment here, and premium format and DC at the bottom. This sort of blue and black motif continues all the way around the box. You've got the back with the Nora Freeze here. And this is why Mr. Freeze does everything that he does to save his beloved Nora. Sideshow.com at the bottom. And that motif continuing all the way around. On the top, you've got a simple Mr. Freeze logo treatment. And then on the bottom, you have all of your copyright information. And this is a number matched box. This is number 302 of 1000. This is the collector's edition. There is an exclusive edition that has a little figurine of Nora Freeze. This did not come with that. Mine is the collector's edition. Here we have the base for this statue. I really like this continued art treatment that you've got on the bottom here with Mr. Freeze. It's kind of cool because the artwork is this way, but the title goes this way. You can actually look at it either way. They've got the logos here, Sideshow logo here, and then this is the number match, so this is 302 of 1000. This is really cool. You've got this snowdrift base on this kind of grid. These are clear resin icicles, and you've got Batman's cape draped over the ice here. There's frost flecking all throughout. A lot of neat things going on in this base. Here we have the main part of the statue. This is Mr. Freeze's body. This design is a little bit deceptively simple when you first see it. It's got these strong shapes. We've got his metal boots and his armor up here, and then what looks to be somewhat, just a dark gray, almost black bodysuit. But when you get up close to it, you see a lot of detail come out. You've got ribbing and stitching and rivets, latches and buckles, and of course his freeze tubes going all the way around. This fits into the base with a large keyed peg. His left foot going on top here, kind of stomping on Batman's cape. On the back here, you've got his freeze pack. This is the apparatus that keeps Mr. Freeze functioning. Next we have his arms. You've got his left fist here. That only keys in one way and it's held in with a magnet. You've got his right hand here holding his freeze ray. The design of this is really cool. And it looks like it's recently been used. It's got frost flecks all over the place. And again, this one is keyed to go only one way. There you go. And it's a little tricky. So the fist goes forward like that. Mr. Freeze's life support apparatus is actually what feeds his freeze gun here. So it comes with this tube. What I like about the details of this, it looks like it's actually feeding two different chemicals, which then combine and through chemical reaction create the freeze ray functions of his gun here. I just like that little detail. And these just hold into two little holes with pegs. And this is kind of a flexible piece, so it's not too fragile, which is nice. Next, we have Victor's portrait here. Real simple, classic Mr. Freeze design. He's got his stoic, cold gaze and these goggles that he wears to protect his eyes. And they painted them with this really bright red. It's actually a UV reactive paint, so if you have any UV in your display room, those will really shine. They don't glow, they don't light up, but they sure look like it. And there's some subtle shading on those as well. He only comes with the one portrait, but I think that's all he needs. Now, in addition to the low temperatures, he also needs a controlled environment to keep out any warmth. And Sideshow has included a real glass dome that goes right over his head there and fits in there beautifully. So he's got this real glass dome. This isn't plastic, there's no seams or anything like that. Really nice piece. Now, a little finishing touch that they've included a Batarang, and that slots into one of the ice pieces coming out of the base right here like this, and just shows that Batman has been nearby and battling with Mr. Freeze. Just a beautiful statue. It's nice and sturdy, goes together really well. I think it's a very well done piece. Let's bring it in closer and talk about the details and my overall impressions of the piece. All right, so Victor Freeze is who he is because of an accident he had when trying to cryogenically preserve his beloved wife, Nora. He fell into his experiment and was altered down to a genetic level to require very, very low temperatures to survive. And that's where his cold suit comes in. He is a master of cryogenic science, and he uses those skills to further his own goals. And his only focus is to save Nora Freeze, and it's actually his only weakness as well, his love for his wife. Batman has used that love for his wife to get Victor to help him on occasion, and this statue captures the stoicism and determination of Mr. Freeze in a really great way. When I very first saw this concept, it actually seemed a little more simple than what I was hoping for from a statue of this kind. I'm very familiar with Mr. Freeze from, of course, you've got the old movie version with Arnold Schwarzenegger, so that's a very, very complex design. And then you have the popular Arkham games, which is a very, very complex design. Now, you've got his animated series design, which is very simplistic, of course, for animation purposes, but a very well done design. And this sort of marries all of those styles. It's kind of got the profile of the animated series with some of the details of the more modern rendition. Overall, it really, really presents well as the character, and it really gives a sense of low temperatures, which is something that I wasn't expecting to be quite so profound until I got it and got it out of the box. I love the design of his backpack here. It almost looks like a refrigerator heat exchanger. So any heat that he would get by being in his environment of any kind would be radiated out using these fins. And then he's got his, whatever he uses to cool himself down, flowing all through here. Maybe these are charge canisters here that go in and out. There's lots of neat little greebles and additions to give you lots of interest. Lots of things to look at. On his cold feed tube here, you've got sort of flecks of frost all going up into here. And the freeze ray itself, really, really cool. It looks like you can hold it with one hand or you can hold it with two like this. You've got cold residue around the front here, and it's all fed by maybe what would be a large canister here. Who knows? All kinds of things you can add with your own imagination. This is a cast piece here. Looks like machined metal. I just love the way this looks. I can imagine him spraying the area with it. The portrait has lovely little details like this buckle that holds his goggles on. Even in the goggles, they're all intelligently done. There's multiple layers padding around where it would touch his face. And the glass is really, really glossy. The black parts are semi-gloss. And the shading in his ears and around his mouth, it just really gives the sense that he's cold, not just pale. It still looks like living tissue in some way. It's hard for me to explain. Inside the suit here is more detailed, sort of ribbing and piping. Just so many layers of sculpture. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite Rogues Gallery statues that I have. I have Catwoman and Harley Quinn and Joker. And this one just has such a great presence. It draws your eye when you're looking at your display. So overall, do I think that this statue is a must-buy? Yeah, I do. This one is definitely one to get if you have a Batman collection. If you were into the animated series, if you like these kind of tragic characters like Mr. Freeze, this is an absolute must-buy for your collection. The hard edge sculpting, the multiple textures that create the illusion of different materials all throughout. It is a fully sculpted piece, so you don't have to worry about any mixed media other than maybe what you could call the flexible parts here or the glass up here. But it is a fully hard statue, so it's fantastic from that standpoint. It tells a story. You see that something has happened here, and that there's a lot going on beyond just looking at the figure itself. It adds a lot to your collection, and it's one I'm going to keep in my collection as long as I possibly can. It's still available on Sideshow. Unfortunately, I do not have the exclusive. The exclusive is sold out. It's sold out like that. It has a Nora Freeze little figurine off the side that lights up. I can put up a picture of that here on screen for you. But if you can find an exclusive one at an official retailer or anything like that, pick that up. I think that piece is really a neat piece to have, but like I said, it was gone instantaneously. But I wanted to make sure that I got the figure itself, so I went with the collector's edition, and I'm very, very happy with it. So jump on Sideshow, look up Mr. Freeze, you'll see him there, and pick one up for yourself. Happy collecting.
Did you enjoy that video? Be sure to subscribe by hitting the S icon on your screen and click the bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under product info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.